Hey, good morning. So today is March 8th. Decided I would take a little break from Japanese black pine seedling cuttings and have a look at this Shindeshojo Maple. This guy is just started to have some of these buds opening up. There's a lot of buds that are still closed. But I decided I would give it a go today. It's a mess in there. I gotta trim that out. But the main part is down here. A lot of that will come off. So this isn't the greatest graph, obviously. You can see a bit of color change and it's a bit thicker. This tree may end up just being source material for, obviously cuttings or air layerings, but might end up being an interesting bit of a trunk bend, depending on, I guess, if it swells up. Sometimes the graft sites, the bottom will get much thicker quicker than the actual trunk, but depending on how this grows, I may try it out. And so this Shindeshojo has been in nursery soil since I bought it last year, and I think I had kind of up-potted it with a bit of pumice around it, but it's really time to get it out of the nursery soil, so do that today. Number 11. Yeah, okay, so a lot of this roots from the nursery soil didn't go out into my pumice mix at all. These white ones are probably all just weeds. So yeah, it's a good example of why. Slip potting might have worked a little bit just to give it some more breathing room, but the roots hardly tried to leave the main root ball at all, a little bit there. So that's why we're going to break it loose, give it some more oxygen. All of this is very dense and isn't great for it to be able to breathe. Lots of coarse lava back here I might end up putting in the bottom of the pot again. All of the soil here is going to be organic, and I'm not going to reuse that for anything except for maybe in the garden. A lot of sort of bits of bark in there and stuff. It's very dense. I wasn't planning to put this in a very small pot. I think it needs to grow quite a bit before I do that. But seeing the roots, I may change my mind. And again, this rootstock won't be Shindeshojo. What I have taken some cuttings from, I don't know if it was this one or another one, but I've got some other Shindeshojos that will be coming soon, and then I won't have to worry about what's below the graft. It's quite a bit more dense right in here, so this must have been the original nursery pot, and then they up-potted it. The 1 gallon pot or whatever that was. I feel like there's some pretty thick roots in there that I can't quite tease apart. yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on in there. I might just grab some pruning shears and yeah, there's something giant right in there. All of these roots that are coming down from that point are not going to be as useful. Alright, pruning shears it is. I'll be right back. Rubbing alcohol, isopropanol. Right here, there's something quite thick I can't quite get to. And there's also something pretty thick right here that feels like it's coming down. And right there. And I just want to untangle this as much as I can. And then I'll trim off the longer ones. You know, and I almost could put this into a fairly small pot. But the plan was to put it into something bigger to promote a lot of growth this year. So maybe I might just trim it and not go crazy. Just want to get all of these downward facing ones out of the picture. I think there's still a fairly sizable chunk there. Taking quite a lot off. These, I almost want to put something under it to prevent those roots from growing in that direction, but just keep looking for ones that are facing downward to get rid of. I think I need some better shears for here. These are terrible. Okay, so that's so nice and flat now. Lots of extra roots off to the sides. So just trim the extra. I'm gonna plant it in a regular nursery pot, I suppose. The pot I was going to plant it in is quite a large one. And I want it to grow a lot more than this. I might plant it deep in the pot. I don't want to have this whole pot full. So what I'll do is I'll just trim off some of these guys so that it's nice and even. And I could put it in quite a shallow pot. But I just want it to grow a lot this year, so I'm going to stick it in this guy, make sure that it's, so I've got, of course, lava up to about here, and I'll maybe fill it to about there. I'll put a layer of pumice and lava down first, and I should probably wire it in, but I think because of how deep this is going to be, I don't need to. Could consider the planting angle a bit. I don't know if you can see in there at all, can you? Yeah, so one thing with the planting angle, because there was the sort of flow of the original trunk going this way and the graft coming off this way, I kind of like it to angle a fair amount before it goes off this way. So I might like it to be more this way, and then have it, perhaps this will be the shoot that is the predominant shoot later. Wasn't much to see in terms of Nabari prospects, but now that it has a bit more breathing room in here, maybe next year, or well, this could probably stay in here for a few years. But the next time I repot it, maybe we'll have a little bit more. Just try to make sure that all of this substrate is underneath that flat area there. Go a little bit deeper. Let some of those surface roots develop a bit more. And not really a lot more to do with this. I'll water it in, of course. It's a super nice warm day, but it is still March, so we could still have frost. I would probably not have to worry too much about this. I'll keep it close to the house and on the ground, avoid the wind, those sorts of things. But yeah, nice little Shindeshojo. Guess that marks my first actual repot of the year. Hopefully this one does well and there's not a crazy March or April frost to deal with. I think it should be fine though. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.